Hi everyone, and welcome to Unit 8. In this unit, we will examine gender as a category that is socially, historically, and culturally constructed. We will discuss how the biological basis to the differences between the sexes does not explain their lived experience, differences, and inequalities. We will explore how what it means to be a man and a woman in our society is largely also constructed by wider social forces which has over the course of history become naturalized into differences between the sexes. We often hear the expression, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, as a way to explain how both men and women are so intrinsically different that we may as well be from different planets. The ways that we are wired, how we react to situations, how we understand what it means to be a man and a woman in our society. We have become fascinated with pseudo-scientific claims determined to find universal difference between men and women, and somehow they're used to justify pervasive gender inequality. It's as if we believe almost anything, that men and women are so different in terms of biological species that they also come from different planets, that they speak different languages and respond to different cosmic rhythms. Yet we're all from the planet Earth, and we are more alike than we are different. So where do these differences come from? Why are women still paid less than men? Why is there a double sexual standard? Men who have more than one partner are looked at as the man, but women who have more than one partner are looked at as promiscuous. They say men and women have different brain sizes, that we have different anatomies that lead to different destinies. We have different forms of communication. Yet despite all these differences, we sit in the same workplace, we are evaluated by the same criteria for jobs, promotions, and tenure. We also live in the same houses, read the same newspapers, tune into the same TV programs. Are these differences rooted in some biological primordial evolutionary imperative, or do they stem from some inevitable universal psychological process of development? Is gender inequality inevitable, universal? Gender is not simply a system of classification, as we will see, in which biological males and biological females are sorted, separated, and socialized into equivalent sex roles. Gender also expresses a universal inequality between men and women. When we speak of gender, we also speak about hierarchy, power inequality, not only difference. So in this part, I want to turn to gender as an organizing principle. So because of social movements and social struggles, we know now that gender is one of the central organizing principles around which social life revolves. Until the 1970s, social scientists would have only listed class and race as the status that defines social life. In the 1960s, for example, there were really no courses on the study of gender. It was really feminist scholarship who brought to the fore the way the lives of women were significant. Gender became a sociological concept owing to the impact of feminism. Arguing that anatomy is not destiny, or that one is not born a woman, authors like Simone de Beauvoir questioned the assumptions behind such formulations in her feminist classic, The Second Sex. Her assertion is also true for men as well. In the social sciences, it is now widely accepted that distinctions between men and women are more social than natural. However, this took many years to accept and a lot of research on gender, masculinity, and femininity. Feminist scholarship has made it clear that gender is a central axis in women's lives and also that of men. Yet when we think of the word gender, what usually comes to mind? Usually students think we will talk about women and women's oppression. It is not unusual that in a course on sex and gender, we find it populated by women. It is as if only women were interested in studying gender. So the question arises, how can we bring in approaches of masculinity into the study of gender? Does gender only encompass women? What about masculinity? How does gender affect notions of what it means to be a man in our society? Gender roles can change tremendously within a society across time, as well across other societies. What it means to be a woman was different in 19th century America than it is today, and cultural influences also impact gender norms. It is dangerous if we do not accept the differences between gender and sex and believe there are distinct differences between men and women. This is because such differences between genders can easily translate to differences in rights as well as opportunities. The differences, inequalities, and the division of labor between men and women are often simply treated as consequences of natural differences between male and female humans. The idea that natural differences between the sexes are the source of all that makes men and women distinct has always been deeply embedded in scientific discourse. And this is the part that I want to turn into in the second half of the lecture.